Professor at Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Dan, so while this is obviously concerning news, for the Trump administration, but Biden, do not forget, he was president for most of that month in December and, of course, the beginning of January. And it's frustrating because we spent 4 straight years with that high inflation. But also, we have seen Trump introduce some measures that could cause price hikes, such as those tariffs. But what do you see the rest of this month?
Well, I think that we're going to continue to see inflation. And the reason I say that is we have to look how we got here in the first place. We are in this space right now because of wild government spending. Now, you can't just undo that in a month or 2 months. It's going to take President Trump a while. So if you ask me, how long is it going to take before we're really going to see a substantial change in inflation? Well, it may take a year. And remember, Donald Trump has already said we are going to have some short-term pain for long-term gain. So we have to see it through in order to give his policies a chance to work. 1 month is not going to do it.
Exactly, Danny. And Vice President J.D. Vance broke this down beautifully not that long ago, saying, like you were just saying, we cannot bring prices down like that. There are so many factors. So again, breathe. Let's give it some time. So, Dan, fabric and crafting store Joann's is preparing to close the doors at nearly 2/3 of their locations. So the store first filed for bankruptcy in March and then again just last month, and now only 300 of its 800 stores will remain. I like Joann's. I grew up going to Joann's and getting craft supplies. How do you think we will see them perform?
Well, this is a tough one for Joann's. I mean, when you're talking about closing more than half of their stores, obviously they have some financial challenges. So I think where we're going to be is if these cuts in terms of all these closures in an attempt to bring down costs, to right size, and to get the existing locations to be profitable, if this doesn't work, I'm afraid that Joann's is going to have some real challenges.
Yeah, just another one. But speaking of bankruptcy, Spirit Airlines once again rejecting a deal to merge with Frontier. Spirit saying the $2.16 billion deal, which would see investors receive $400 million in debt and a 19% stake in Frontier, would not be as beneficial to shareholders as its current reorganization plan. Two airlines, we've talked about it before, they've been in talks to merge all the way back since 2022. Dan, it really seems like Spirit believes that their reorganization can really pull them out of bankruptcy all on their own. Do you think that they are correct in that assessment?
Well, time is going to tell, but if they believe that that's a situation, then there's no reason to take the deal. Now, we've seen these two doing this dance for, well, what'll be going on 3 years now. So, I mean, either Spirit is going to come through this or they're going to end up having to take a deal that maybe they don't like so much. But again, at some point, time runs out. So you can't keep waltzing forever. The music does stop at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of these deals, they were fairly good. And like you said, they may end up taking one that's not so good just because they might be desperate at the end of the day. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So nice seeing you.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, everybody.